So I get a lot of requests from you guys saying that I should do tutorials on all the covers that I've done so far, and promise talaga I will do them. Pero as of now, I decided to do a beginner's guitar tutorial because I know a lot of you are beginners in the guitar, and that's why I'm making this video, and I'm basing it off of how I learned it. Alright, number one is to please, I'm begging you, pakitune po yung gitara nyo before you start playing. I cannot stress this enough. I've seen a lot of covers in YouTube, and napapaganda na ako kasi ang ganda ng boses nila, kaso yung gitara nila napawala sa tono. I admit it, I'm very judgmental when it comes to that. Siguro hindi judgmental ang good word. Siguro critic na lang. Critic. Yon. Critic ako. Kasi baby ko to eh. I have a tuner in the guitar itself. I sometimes do it manually. And I also use an app called Guitar Tuna. You guys can do this one too. Number two is to learn chords. Yeah, so if you heard me correctly, I said learn the chords and not tabs. I have no idea why people start learning tabs when they don't even have chords memorized, you know. So please start learning chords first. I'm not gonna show you guys every single chord out there kasi sobrang dami talaga. Pero I'll show you guys what the chords I started with and how I got better at doing them. So I started with D, A, E minor, G. If you can do those four chords, you can literally play any Taylor Swift song. I guarantee you that. Okay, C, F, A minor, you know, D minor, B minor, C minor, C sharp minor. So until now, actually, I only use those chords for my covers. If you guys can learn them, that would be great. So obviously, when it comes to learning chords, learn and memorize the placement of your fingers. Diba? After that, pag na-memorize nyo na yung placement ng fingers nyo, try to switch from chords to chords. You know, D, switch from A, switch from E minor. A tip that I can give you guys when it comes to switching chords, kasi alam ko, when it comes to beginners, we tend to panic of switching chords to chords kasi we feel like we have to get there on time. Pero just relax, just chill lang kayo when it comes to switching chords. Sometimes you don't have to switch it that quickly, especially with plucking. You'll realize now you don't have to be that quick to switch chords. You know, I can go from E minor and then G, and I'm still placing my hands, you know, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. Chill. So another thing when it comes to learning chords is you have to learn their bass, because that's important when it comes to plucking, and that's important when it comes to strumming, because you don't want to, for example, for D, you know, you only want to hit four of the strings. You don't want to hit all of them because it sounds weird. You know, you have to hit 4 of the strings only. So you guys have to learn that as well. So for 3, since we're talking about chords, let's talk about frets because it just connects with each other. You need to know how to do frets, such as doing B minor, you know, doing F, doing C sharp minor. Those are the common ones I usually use. And alam ko na a lot of beginners struggle with this just as I did for a very long time. Pero I found out that there is a trick to it, just like what I said earlier when it comes to switching chords for beginners. We tend to panic, you know, trying to get our fingers placed there. The same tip that I will give you guys, don't rush it when it comes to doing frets. When it comes to doing frets, is that don't worry about this one, which is the fret finger. I think that's what it's called. Don't worry about this yet, but worry about your other 3 fingers on where you're gonna place them. Okay, so let's say I'm gonna do B minor. Okay, B minor is just like this. Let's say I'm going from E minor to B minor. Okay, so from E minor, I'm gonna place where the 3 fingers are first and then clip. This one is always last. Same thing when it comes to F, you know, place where the 3 fingers are first and then clip. Same thing with C sharp minor, place where the 3 fingers are first and then clip. This is a lifesaver, I'm telling you. When I learned this, I found it, I'm like, oh my goodness, that was so easy. So for example, I'll do a chord progression. So, by this time, pag na-master nyo na yung 1, 2, and 3, magaling na kayo with chords and chord placements, chord switching, mga ganon. Number 4, which is not that necessary kasi there's internet, pero it's also good to know, is to learn chord progressions. A while ago, I mentioned that if you learn these 4 chords, you can literally play any Taylor Swift song. That's an example of chord progression. Chord progression helped me to kapa. Ano ba sa English nun? Kapa. Kasi sometimes in the internet wala silang chords for a certain song, kaya I have to figure it out myself kung paano i-play sa gitara. Kaya yun, chord progressions will help you do that. For example, yung cover ko na Lumalapit by The Juans, that was not on the internet. I couldn't find the chords there, kaya I just kinapa ko na lang sa gitara. I'm gonna teach you guys my favorite chord progression kasi I literally use this in most of my videos talaga. Kaya I'll show you guys. As long as you have a capo, you're fine. You can play any songs with it. Alright, so we'll start off with G. And for the whole time, you're just going to keep these 2 fingers right here. They are not gonna move at all. They are glued to those strings, okay? You're not gonna move them. These are the only ones that are working. They are the ones that are moving, okay? So G, and then we're gonna move our ring finger to the 2nd fret of the 5th string and our middle finger to the 2nd fret of the 4th string. Okay, that's the 2nd chord. 3rd chord is we're gonna move these 2 fingers again back to the 3rd fret. The middle finger goes to the 5th string, and then the ring finger stays on the 2nd fret of the 4th string. So you have this sound. Last chord is going to be similar to D. It is D, but a different D. So you're gonna have your ring finger go all the way down to the 3rd fret, and then the middle finger all the way down to the 1st string, both on the 2nd fret, okay? So those are the 4 chords. And then you can play around with that. Okay, so that's my favorite chord progression. You can literally play any song with that. And this leads me to talking about tabs. I mentioned a while ago, you guys should really learn the chords first before learning the tabs, and you guys will see why. Kasi when you look at a tab, you'll realize na where your fingers are, they somewhat form the chords already. For example, I tried learning the intro of Walang Iba by Ezra Band, and I realized how simple it was. Kasi na-memorize ko na yung chords, and the tabs became so much easier when I looked at it. Sample, sample. So this is almost similar to the chord progression that I did a while ago, okay? Don't know what number I'm in. For this one, this tip goes out to those who wants to lead worship. I play the acoustic guitar for my worship team, and I really like it when we are playing the chord progressions of E kasi I get to do open chords. Yun lang kasi yung open chords na alam ko. I feel like open chords just adds a lot of depth to the worship, kaya I really like doing it. This is like another chord progression basically. Okay, so I'll start off with A. This is the open chord that I'm talking about. You guys hear that? It sounds more worshipy, you know? I don't know. Is it just me? And this one is great when you're playing it during worship kasi it's very easy. You don't have to move these two fingers again. It just stays right here on the 3rd and the 4th strings. Okay, we're just gonna be moving them basically. So this is right there. That's the first one. And then this is similar to B. Open chord. Okay, so I just added my ring finger to the 2nd fret of the 5th string. So from here, right, it sounds more worshipy. The 3rd one is similar to C sharp minor. So now the 2 fingers, which I haven't moved, is now on the 7th fret. And then I will place my middle finger on the 6th fret of the 3rd string and my ring finger on the 5th fret of the 5th string. Okay, so I had A, B, C sharp minor. Okay, and then last one is E, which goes all the way here. Okay, so now the 2 fingers that never moved are on the 10th fret. My middle finger is on the 9th fret of the 3rd string, and then my ring finger is on the 8th fret of the 5th string. This is E, open chord E. So all together, it sounds like not open chords, it's gonna sound like this. Versus this. See the difference? So between those 4 chords, you can switch it up however you want it, you know. So I think that's pretty much all of the tips that I can share with you guys. I know I didn't talk about plucking or strumming. Honestly, I don't know how to teach that because I don't want to seem like I'm bragging, but for me, I had it naturally in me. I guess I had this sense of rhythm already. Drums was my first instrument, kaya maybe that's why. Kaya I never really had to learn how to strum or to pluck because I had the timing right already. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of YouTube videos about that though. Kaya I encourage you guys to watch a lot of videos on YouTube dahil ganun na rin ako natuto. I didn't mention it earlier, pero obviously practice. You just have to practice, you know, until you get better. So I think that's it. Thank you so much for 15K. That's crazy. Wow. Yeah. Thank you. Glory to God. And so yeah, I will try to return the favor by posting more covers as well as tutorials for you guys to learn. Kaya stay tuned. God bless. Have a blessed week.